Eastern Standard Time. And I guess I just want to hop on here quickly and just touch on a little bit on what's going on in the market. And it's been nuts. And I don't know how to say it other than that. Every offer over the last few days has been multiples. And it's not just like 5. We're talking like 20 or 30 different offers. And the final sale prices are over $200,000 over what it's being listed for. So it just goes to show how insane everything is right now. And so I'm just trying to draw attention to this so that those of you who are on the fence from listing your house, right now is the best time to be doing it. And it just, I can't say that there will be a better time. I don't know what's going to happen with the market and if it's going to continue to keep rising like it is, but it's just, there is no inventory on the market at all. And I see one person joined in, they're gone. Let me see, I'm just going to test to make sure that I can hear myself, because I have done a live and the first 15 minutes of it, there was no volume. So I'm just going to check this quickly. Hear myself because I have. Yeah. Okay, so I'm good with that. So if there's anybody out there, pipe on with any questions, but mainly it's just over the last few days, I have submitted, I think I've done 5 offers in the last 4 days, and each one of them, I have been competing with multiples. And just to give you an example, I wrote down, because I don't know, I just write so many offers, but I don't really keep track of how many offers I was competing with. So these are properties that were in either Pickering, Ajax, or Whitby. And so just today, so I bid on one, and list price was $699,000. It was a townhouse in Brooklyn, which is on the north part of Whitby. And I pretty much was competing against 31 offers. And so that's the Brooklyn townhome. And you might think, oh, well, that's just today. Well, on January 16th, so that's just 3 days ago, there was a detached home in Southeast Ajax, which was listed at $799,000. This one here, they were supposed to be reviewing offers on Monday, but they did receive a bully offer, which is super common in this market right now, where they might list something on Wednesday, and then they're going to post that they're going to do offers on the Monday. And then somebody will throw in an offer on Friday and give like a 24-hour irrevocable, meaning that that offer will expire after 24 hours. It's called 2 things: preemptive offer or bully offer. And the reason they come in is because they just try and like quicken a response. And usually they're really strong offers, so there's no conditions. And usually the price is so much higher than what it's being listed for. So this one in Southeast Ajax that we competed on, it was listed on Thursday. And it was, they were reviewing offers on the Saturday because they got a bully offer in. So there was only 15 offers on that one. So to me, that was like a low number. I felt my odds were pretty good. Submitted an offer and we were the second. So we were the top 2, but that doesn't matter because nobody got the house except for the first person. So it was the 16th. And then we'll fast track back to January 12th. And this one, it was in Williamsburg in Whitby, and it was a property that was listed at $749,000. There was 38 offers on that one, and the final sale price was $933,000. It was firm, and it was just insane. 38 offers. Here's a real interesting one. So it was in the Whitby Shores area of Whitby, so that's the south part. Typically, it's around Brock Road, south of the 401, and it was a semi-detached home that it was in very good condition, but it was dated, hadn't been updated since the home was built, and it was listed at $699,000. And on that one, there was 44 offers, and the final sale price on that, so listed at $699,000, and the final sale price on that was $885,000. And it was a firm offer as well. So there was no financing condition, no home inspection condition, nothing in there about appraisal. So there was like absolutely nothing. So it was 100% firm deals on the last 4 of them. And on some of the other ones that I've had, it's all similar numbers, like 20 offers, 21. It's just been absolutely insane. So if there's anybody out there who is thinking about selling their house, I don't even care if you list it with me. It's just we need inventory. CP24, they announced something 2 days ago, I think it was, where over the last 12 months, 50,000 people have been leaving Toronto to go to the suburbs. And when you look at the suburb, take a radius of that, and then you have on the west side, you have Mississauga, Brampton, Oakville, Burlington, even all the way to Hamilton, Kitchener-Waterloo, Brantford, London. And then if you're going to come to the east, then people are going to Pickering, Ajax, Whitby, Oshawa. They're even starting to go to Bowmanville because they're being priced out of the Whitby, Ajax, Pickering, Oshawa, like that market. So now they're moving on to Bowmanville. And it has just exploded the market because there are so many people that are looking and there's just not enough inventory that is coming up. So it's just to stress out there that if there's anybody on the fence with selling, don't care if you list with me, but it's just now is like the perfect time to be selling because, oh, sorry, I just got a question. I'll get to that. Sorry. But yeah, so if you're on the fence with selling, perfect time. There's so many people looking to buy a home, like a detached, a townhome, just something where they have like a backyard, and there's no inventory. Inventory has started to pick up, and it's just one of those things that it will take time. I'm hoping that more and more inventory is going to hit because when people start to see what they're able to get for their house, they're just going to flood the market. And that's hoping is going to happen because we need so much more inventory. When you look at having a property list and then having 44 offers, it just goes to show how many buyers there actually are. And you're seeing like, you try and book a showing. So let's just say a listing gets hit on Thursday and you might not get around or notice it until Friday. And you're only available on Saturdays and Sundays. By the time Friday rolls around, all of the Saturday and Sunday appointments are taken. And typically they're starting 8 a.m. until like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. And they're either doing 30-minute or 15-minute appointments. So when you do the math on that, you have 24 appointments as a minimum on a Saturday, 24 on a Sunday. That's 48 minimum. And then if you're going to base it on a 15-minute windows, that's going to pretty much double. So for every hour, you're going to have 4 appointments in there, and they get slammed. And there was one that was on, I forget the name of the street, but it was a townhome in Ajax. And I went in the day that it was listed, and I had to wait in line. So there was somebody in the house. There was somebody waiting to go into the house. Then there was me. And then while the people in front of me went, 2 more people came for their appointments. So there was a lineup, pretty much a constant flow of lineup of people wanting to get in. I just see one question, and I'll put it on the screen here. So it's sir, can a work permit holder buy home with 5% down payment in Oshawa? So for this one, I'm going to direct you to my mortgage broker, Sheldon or Chris from Gemba Finance. They are definitely people who can help with that. I know that they are working with a few of my clients where they are kind of in a similar type situation, and it might be best to direct that question to a mortgage professional. I'm good at answering the real estate questions, but when you're going to talk about the technical side of the mortgage, I just always defer any questions to them because I know that pretty much if there's a way, they're going to be able to know it. If there's not a way, they're not going to sugarcoat it or give you the runaround. They're going to really tell you pretty much the truth on that. And so that's why I give them a lot of credit for that. So if you backtrack once this gets posted to the YouTube channel, in the description, I will have their contact information. And then Jarrett, it's what is this? Hey, Jarrett, I don't know if you watched any of my videos before or anything like that, but I have a whole channel that's pretty much dedicated to people who are looking to move to the Greater Toronto area. So whether it be Toronto, Pickering, Ajax, Whitby, or Oshawa, and it just gives tons of information, what it's like to live here, home buying tips, home selling tips. I go live like this every once in a while just to explain the market, or sometimes I have other guests on there like mortgage brokers or agents from different cities, really. And so I'm just on here right now, and I just wanted to touch on what I'm seeing in the market right now. It's been crazy. What I touched on earlier was just all of the different offer situations over the last 8 days. So in the last 8 days, I jotted down 4 different offer situations, and pretty much the Coles Notes version of it is I've been competing in offer situations where there's been 31 offers, 15 offers, 38 offers, or the biggest one, which was in Whitby Shores, it was a semi-detached. There was 44 offers on that one. And the one in Whitby Shores that had 44 offers, it was listed at $699,000 and it sold for $885,000. So this year, like you have me here, I'm a realtor. I live in Whitby right now. I was born and raised in Brampton. I moved to Oshawa. So if you have questions in terms of what it's like to live here, ask away. If you have real estate questions, again, ask away. Typically, I don't go this late because it's like 12:50 a.m. my time, Eastern Standard Time. And it was just one of those things that I was in an offer situation today, and I was competing with 31 offers. So I just figured if I put this out there and I catch just one person who wants to sell their place, that's going to be one new listing that's going to hit the market. And I don't even care if they list with me. That's not the goal with this. Like, sure, I'd love to list properties and everything. But the main thing is I have so many buyers that are looking to buy right now, and there's just nothing for them to actually buy. And when there finally is something that they like, we're competing with tons of different people. This one, sir, with single car parking, new house price in Oshawa with unfinished basement. So the problem is right now there isn't any. So there was one on Percival that had sold, and if you like to kind of do a lot of your own research online and stuff, there's an app. It's House Sigma. It's really a brokerage, but they've created this really good app where you can check the history on things. And so there was a listing on Percival, which the home was like 20 years old, and it wasn't perfect, but it was in decent shape. And it was listed at $575,000, and it ended up selling for $790,000. So that was an older house. And if you're going to look in areas like Taunton, which is the Harmony and Conlin Road area, or Harmony and Taunton, or Winfields, the newer ones that you're going to be seeing in there, they've passed over the 800,000. Taunton doesn't have a lot of detached single car garage homes. Most of theirs is either townhomes, or they have semi-detached, or the double car garage detached. They didn't build a lot of single car garage. But if you're going to look at Winfields, Tribute, and Minto, they're the two main builders that are in that Winfield section, which is at Simcoe and Winchester. And their price points has gone up quite a bit, to the point where now if you're looking for a newer type home in there that's in decent shape, it's crossed over the $800,000 price range, where 2 years ago it was in the 600,000s. And so it's definitely shot up there a lot. And Kida, thanks for commenting. Getting some good questions. I didn't expect, to be honest with you, anybody to even be watching because it's so late, but I kind of forget sometimes that this channel covers different parts of the world, where right now in places like Dubai and stuff, it's like morning the next day. So what's the price of a 2-car garage, 4-bedroom house in Rolling Acres? So with that, so Rolling Acres, that's my neck of the woods. So I live in Rolling Acres in the Minto Ivy Ridge development. So if you are looking in the Ivy Ridge type, there hasn't been any recent sales at all other than what was purchased from the builder. If you're going to go outside of that and you're going to go into the homes that were built in the 1980s, those have been hovering around probably the $900,000 price range now. If it's anything that is a larger lot, larger type house, then you're over $1 million. And which is crazy because about a year ago, they were hovering in the 800,000s. So it's definitely shot up right now because of this, the craziness in the market. And what's causing it is the fact that with COVID and everything, I mean, people have been able to work from home. And so they've been always working in Toronto and living in Toronto. And now with being able to work from home, they're looking to move out of the city because they're getting stir crazy with being in their little condo. So they're looking to move out. And Oshawa's population in the last 12 months increased by 2.1%. So that's one of the highest population growths in 1 year in any city within Canada. And a lot of these people is pretty much coming from Toronto, and they're coming to the suburbs. So they're looking to go pretty much from London all the way to Bowmanville, and then also north, and then you're going to deal with Brampton, Vaughan, and so they're just kind of spreading it out. And so what it does is it's softened the Toronto condo market. So right now, if you're looking to buy a condo in Toronto, there's a good opportunity where once everything kind of gets back to normal, the condo market in Toronto is going to pick up again. But right now, there's a lot of inventory. Like currently, there's over 3,000 listings of condos in Toronto, where normally always had an inventory issue because everybody wants to pretty much live in Toronto, where with COVID and people being able to work from home a lot, they're looking to expand and move out of Toronto. And sometimes they're only commuting 1-2 days a week. So right now, great opportunity in downtown Toronto for condos. You're seeing condos now sell for less than what they're being listed for. And then the minute you go outside of Toronto and you're going to go into Durham or Peel or Halton, you're going to see homes and they're all selling for more than what it's being listed for. So when you're trying to gauge what the prices of things are, use apps like House Sigma or Zoocasa or Zolo, where it shows you the sale history of it, because then it will show you what it ends up selling for. So there's two things. There's the sale price, and then there's the list price. And list price right now is not market price. So if you list something and it's listed at 600, there's a good chance you're going to pay 800. If it's listed at 700, you're probably going to pay 850. Like that's just the way things are trending right now. And so it's just crazy. And Kita, if you're still there, I'll actually, I'm going to share my screen with you right now. Well, share it with everybody, not just Kita. And I'll just show you what's available right now in Rolling Acres. And there's probably not much. Okay, so that's my screen. This is the back end of the Toronto real estate system. So this is where I do all of my homework when I'm trying to research things. So this will show you to the, like, this is live. So if it's on here and it's sold, it's going to show. If it's available, it's going to show as available. So right now, there's only 2 homes that are available in Rolling Acres right now. So there is, in terms of being a 2-garage, 4-bedroom house, and it is the one on Morningstar, and it's listed at $999,000. Unfortunately, I can't click on it to show because it does have the seller's information and everything, and I don't really want to be putting that out there right now. But what I can do is, so it was listed on December 10th. So yeah, this is it's because it's priced high. So if they priced it at $799, it would probably sell close to $1 million. But because they priced it at $999, people are expecting that people are going to want more than that price. So that's kind of why it's been on the market for so long. And then you have Bridalwood, which was just listed on January 11th. So they're probably doing an offer holdbacks probably until yesterday. So that's probably sold right now. They're just waiting for the deposit check to be dropped off. So that hopefully answers your question. And then, sir, it is reliable to buy pre-construction home because I heard that some developers prolong the time of possession. So I can close that. So yeah, they might prolong the time of possession, but it doesn't typically happen too often. If it does, they give you a certain amount of delays and then they actually have to pay you. The payment that they give you isn't very much. My experience, so I've been in 3 brand new homes myself personally. I've been in a tribute home. I have been in 2 Minto homes. And both times, all 3 times, I've only been delayed once. And the one delay I had was actually for the house that I'm in right now, which is in Whitby. And we're supposed to close in July, and we ended up closing in December. So it was a 5-month delay, but they gave us longer than the required 90 days notice or 60 days notice. I forget what was required. They gave us more than enough time where we knew we didn't have to list our house to move for July. Any other questions? I can show you what has sold. I'm going to go back to this question here for Ankita. She might be gone or he might be gone. But this will show over the last, pretty much since January, because I would say things really got crazy since January. December was crazy, but then January hit and it got even more crazy. So this will show pretty much since January 1st in Rolling Acres, and there's only 2 sales. 55 Stratton, which was listed at $899, and on January 3rd it sold, so it got updated as sold on January 3rd, so for $953. And then 26 Foster Crescent, listed at $900,000, it sold for $1,185,000. So, and Kita, if you're still there, hopefully that answers your question in terms of a 4-bedroom double-car garage house and what it ends up selling for. And because yeah, again, you can't go based on what it's listed for. You have to go what they end up selling for, just to get an idea. The problem with this is every time there's a new sale, it's going to increase the price that the next person is going to pay. And perfect example of this is the offer that I submitted today. An identical one hit the market. December 22nd is actually when it sold, and it sold for $818,000. And our offer was $830,000, and we didn't get a call or anything like that. We just got the rejection email, which is pretty much common. So the problem with that is I use that comp as, you know, a recent sale of a similar style house sold for $818,000. So we offered more than what that was, and it still wasn't good enough, because then just everybody is pretty much using the same comp. So when you have 31 offers, you have 31 agents who are looking at that exact same number. So each one is going to try and predict what's the other agent or the other buyers, what are they going to be submitting. If anybody is new to watching any of my videos, I have a whole channel built towards the like to live in the Durham region. And I started venturing into doing videos for Toronto. And then I realized that I prefer to just kind of stick in the Durham region for my videos, because these videos are a lot of work. And when I started it, I had no idea how much work it was actually going to be. And so like I've been maintaining it pretty much since April, I believe, with doing 1 video per week. And sometimes I do more, sometimes I do the minimum of the 1 video a week. So I am getting to the other questions. I'm just going to pull up some contact information for one of the other questions that kind of popped in here. So I just posted a comment in there. I don't know if it's going to show up. If it does, please let me know. It was for them to, for the information for my mortgage broker. So I just kind of popped it up there. It's Gemba Finance. You go onto their website, and they'll have their information. They're Sheldon and Chris. They're kind of like the 2 owners of the company, and they're both like completely solid guys. They do a really good job. So which is best location to live in Oshawa while we have jobs in Toronto, like train stations, school, and grocery shops? So for this question, each situation is different. One of the areas that I feel has a ton of potential in the long run is Lakeview. The downfall of that right now, if you do have kids that are in school, the school rankings are really low. And if you go on to the Fraser Institute, they actually rank all of the schools in Ontario. They might even go further than that, but I just focus on Ontario. And it gives you an idea of what the school rankings are. And so like the highest rated school in Oshawa is in Winfields. It's Northern Dancer Public School. And why I always kind of note that is because good schools attract more people, because not everybody, but a lot of people will actually look at the school rankings. So like some people I have that are from BC right now that are looking to move to Ajax, building search criteria around the higher rated schools, because that's something that's important for them and then their son as well. But if you're looking for something that's going to be central, if you are pretty much working downtown Toronto and you're going to be commuting on the the GO train, then you're just going to want to be either in Lakeview because it is close to there, or you can be anywhere. And you're going to be able to drive. Like when I used to live in Winfields, which is in the north part of Oshawa, it would take me about, I think, 14 minutes to get to the GO train. And then, so it was never really bad. But it's just wasn't right there. So some people, they prefer to be like really, really close where it's only a few minute drive. And then I would suggest Lakeview. Other areas you can look at would be Vanier, but really also budget comes into it in terms of what price point you're looking at. So you can look at Vanier and then Pinecrest, which is kind of good as well. And then any of the outskirts. When you get into central Oshawa, you do have to be careful in terms of which parts of it, because there's a few pockets within central Oshawa that pretty much give downtown Oshawa or South Oshawa the bad reputation. And that's where you just got to be careful with where you're looking, because you can have one intersection which is bad, and then the next intersection north or east or west is actually really good, and it's mixed up between a whole bunch of homeowners that have lived in that home for the last 20, 30 years. And there's like very little turnover on that. In terms of grocery shops, the main hubs for shopping, you're going to be at Harmony and Taunton, which is where the Legend Center is. They have Real Canadian Superstore, Best Buy, Walmart, and then they have a bunch of other like Home Depot, Dollar Store, ice cream. Like they just have like pretty much everything is built up there. And then another section would be Stevenson and the 401, which is not too far from the Oshawa Center, which is at Gibb and Stevenson. And so those would be the main shopping hubs that you would go to. And then at Adelaide and Ritson, you have the Costco, No Frills. There's a beer store there as well. It's being built up more, but that area by the Costco is really hit and miss. So you do have to be careful with that as well. Getting lots of people on here. That's kind of really good. I hope that helped you. Next question for Emma Gao. I plan to sell my house in South Pickering in late March. Do you think the timing is still good, or should I sell it earlier? Reason is I have some repairing work need to before selling. So right now, Emma, I'm just going to be completely honest with you. What scares me with waiting is right now it's crazy. Things are selling and there's so many people looking to get out of Toronto. Depending on the extent of the repairs that you have to do, you might actually not have to do them. And it has happened in the past where people try and make their house perfect and they wait just that little bit extra, and then the market shift, end up getting less than what they could have if they had just kind of sold it when they thought initially. And so depending on the price point that you're looking at, I probably have buyers for it. I don't know exactly how the house looks or anything like that. But I just know I have a ton of people that are looking, and what they're liking about the south parts of the different cities is being close to the waterfront. So that's one thing you got there going for you as well, Emma. And my advice to you, and I don't know when you need to be moving by, but right now the market is extremely hot. And I don't know if you were here at the beginning, so I'm just going to go over this again. First, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. That way you're notified when I go live or post new videos, and it helps my channel grow, and YouTube puts my videos in front of other people. If you have any other questions, you can call, text, email, whatever, or you can just comment on the video like this. So Emma, just to give you an example, since January 11th, so only over the last 8 days, I've submitted, and I've offers in this, but these were the ones that these are the ones that really stood out to me. And so the one for today, it was a property in Brooklyn, which is in North Whitby, and there was 31 offers on that one. January 16th, this was in Southeast Ajax. I submitted an offer on this one. This one was the closest I've got to in a while, and there was 15 offers on it. We finished second, and being second, we were still $14,000 below what the highest offer was. And then January 12th, there was a detached home in Williamsburg, and there was 38 offers on that one. And then if you go the day before that, It was a semi-detached in Whitby, and pretty much 44 offers on that one. So with that one, it was listed at 699,000, and with 44 offers, it ended up selling for 885,000. So that was for a semi-detached in the Whitby Shores area. It's a very highly desirable area. So Emma, again, pretty much right now, there are so many people that depending on the repair work you need to do, I would say that you might not have to do it, and you're probably going to walk away with a lot of money compared to what you paid for the house, because that's just how strong the market is right now. And if you have a realtor, I would suggest asking them, because if you came to me and asked me that question, my advice would be to sell now. When I sold my house in North Oshawa, it was in 2017, and it was in April, just as everything was really coming to a real standstill in Oshawa. And we listed at $599, and we sold it for $661. The following week, there was 3 semis on the street behind me that went for sale, listed at $599, and they all sold for less than that. One of them actually got terminated and then just rented it out, because the other 2, I think they sold at the 570 range or the 550. And they were nicer semis than what mine was. Mine was builder basic because it was my first pre-construction home, and I didn't have all this money to do upgrades or anything like that. Where these other people who had listed behind us, they had the hardwood and the hardwood stairs, and mine was like a carpet house. So it's just, Emma, again, hopefully that answers your question. Reach out if you have any more questions about it. All my contact information will be in the below of this, or you can just hop over to my channel and just subscribe. Yes, I need area for good rank schools for my kids. Yeah, so for Oshawa, you're going to have Winfields, and that has the Northern Dancer, but it also depends on public or Catholic. And then at Simcoe and Stevenson and Roslyn, there's another good school ranked there. And then I'll just put in here the website for the Fraser Institute, because it's a really good website that you can rank in. So when I'm doing my top 5 schools for Oshawa, Whitby, Ajax, Pickering, and Toronto, that's what I did, is Fraser Institute ranking system. And then I pretty much just based a video around it. So if you've never watched my videos, then you can hop on, and depending on which city, I have different playlists or different buckets that you want to call them. And I have the top schools there so that you can get an idea. And then I kind of, I'm filming it at the school so you can see what the school really looks like. So it's something that people have, they've liked it. And it's come in handy for a lot of the clients that have been reaching out to me, because they're kind of picking areas in and around those top schools. And some people didn't even really know that the schools have different rankings, and it's just kind of built on reputation, where this is actually built on the proper testing that they've been doing. So I just posted in here that's the link for the Fraser Institute. Yeah, compareschoolrankings.org, and you just click on there, and you can just kind of go around based on the city, and you can filter the schools, and it shows it on a map, and it's even color coded, so it can be really easy to spot the good schools, and then you can also spot the really bad schools. And that's very important if you have kids, and the schooling system is something that's important to you. Sir, how can I contact you via WhatsApp? Yeah, you can through WhatsApp. My phone number, let me just pop it up here. Yeah, so that's my phone number there. You can connect through WhatsApp. WhatsApp has been really good. I deal with a lot of out-of-town buyers who aren't physically here to view properties. So a lot of the property tours I'm doing, I do via WhatsApp, or I build groups. So if there's a husband and wife that are looking to move here, I create a chat so that pretty much if you have a question, or your wife has a question, or I have something to share, I put it into the group, and then everyone's getting information at the same time. So you can just add me through my cell phone number there. Sir, should we buy pre-construction or ready-to-live house if we have time of 8 to 9 months? The problem with pre-construction houses right now is the prices have gone way through the roof on that, just like everything else. And when you buy pre-construction and you're not moving 9 months, you have the risk of the market shifting and go to move into a house that has lost value. And then you could deal with appraisal issues, which is not very common in terms of the appraisal issues. But right now, being how 8 to 9 months from now, you don't know how the market's going to be. And I just got wind of a townhouse development that's in Ajax at Harwood and Bailey. And the price points there are starting in the $799, and they're laying townhomes. So those are the ones that you don't have an official backyard. So it's all pretty much, it's all house. So you have a garage at the back, and then your front, you might have 5 foot of grass or a sidewalk or something like that. You don't have very much. And those are starting at $799. Anything detached right now is just the price points have gotten a little bit higher. If the price points of stuff that you're seeing make sense and you're comfortable with that and you don't care what happens with the market so much, then I'd say give it a shot, because as long as you're going to be happy in the house and you have an exit strategy, so if the market does shift and you move into that house, you can stay there for X amount of years and the market can turn around again, then you don't really have too much of a risk. It just really is going to come down to your budget and then what you're looking for in a home to determine that. Hopefully that helps. Emma, my pleasure. Happy to help. The whole point of this was just to get people to list, because there's such a shortage of inventory right now and everything is going into bidding wars. And I didn't even care if people were going to list with me. If you're going to list with somebody else, that's fine. Just bring inventory to the market, because I have so many buyers that are looking to buy right now, and they're getting very discouraged because I have some that we've bid on over 10 properties. And so you can just imagine how hard that is when you're going to sell. When you're going to buy, and you go and you try and fall in love in a house and you don't even know if you have the opportunity to get it, because what it's being priced at and then what it ends up selling for are two completely different things. So if I can just have one person that's going to bring their house to the market, that'd be great. Emma, if you do list with an agent, you can see if maybe he can reach out or she can reach out to me, just to give me an opportunity to bring somebody through, because lots of buyers, not a lot of inventory. And even if you want a premium at that, then I'd say let's give it a shot. It could be something that I can run past the different clients that I do have. I have people from all over the world that are looking to move here. And before I started this channel, I had no idea that there were so many people looking to move here. And I remember getting my first WhatsApp message back in, I think it was June of 2020. And it was somebody from Jamaica. I started getting people from Switzerland. And then I got other people from Nigeria. And it was just like, I was just like really surprised with how many people were actually moving here. Had no idea. And so that's been a cool experience for me, is being able to communicate with people from all over the world. I've had Zoom calls with people from Singapore and Dubai and Jamaica and Nigeria. And it's just been a great experience. Another reason is my house is very old, but has a very beautiful backyard with trees and a swimming pool. I thought it is more attractive in March and April. Yeah, it might be. But the thing is, if you have pictures from what it looks like in the summer, people, when they get there, they can envision what it's going to look like now. People are not being picky because they can't be picky. If they are going to be picky, they're not going to get a house. If you're only going to bid on one house, unless you're going to overpay like crazy, that's going to make it, it's going to make it harder. And that's why it's a real fine line between people walking into homes, and as long as they can envision it, or the fact if it's a detached home, even if it's like a bungalow, the detached bungalows in Oshawa now. Here's an example, Emma, I'll give you. There was a detached bungalow in Eastdale, Oshawa, and it was listed at $599,000. I took a client through there, and the house was original from the 50s. So not one thing had been touched in that house. And when we were walking through, we noticed that there was cracks in the wall that went up to the ceiling, and then it went down the other wall. And then the basement, the floors were slanted. And the same thing, it had cracks that went from one wall through the ceiling to the other wall. And so the minute you see that, you're going to see that it's major foundation issues. So we did like a walkthrough around the perimeter of the property, and we noticed that the one side of the foundation was completely ballooning. So it looked like it was getting ready to cave in. So this house being listed at $599,000, being original everything since the 50s. Granted, it had a really nice walkout basement. Like the backyard was really nice. And we went there in the winter. So if you have a really nice backyard with trees and swimming pool. This will just kind of touch on that. But so it was listed at $599. The house had major structural issues. There was probably more issues under the surface, but because everything's going firm, there's no inspections right now. Nobody is knowing anything. And so it listed at $599. It sold for $770 or $760 or something like that. And that was just, to me, that was just insane. Like, that was a house that was dated. It had major issues that were visible. So even if you're not that inclined for construction, there's certain things that you should see that should raise some red flags or something. So anyways, but that one sold for $760, and that was in Oshawa. The closer you get to Toronto, the more expensive the prices are going to get. So you're probably going to do pretty good, Emma. And if you wait for the grass to be green and the trees to be full with leaves and your pool to be open, but all these buyers now are not here. And I'm not saying that could happen. March could be even worse than what it is right now in terms of the amount of buyers that are coming through. But I just know that right now the market's crazy. And if it lasts until then and it continues to go, then it's only better for you. But if it doesn't, then by waiting, it could actually go against what you're trying to do, which I'm pretty sure is get the most amount of money for your house. That's pretty much everyone's goal when they're going to sell. And the market shifts, and it shifts fast. Like, I sold my house in North Oshawa, probably $200,000 less than what I could have got for it today. But I was in a situation where I bought a pre-construction house, and my closing was in December of 2019. So I had to sell my house in North Oshawa in a dead market. And pretty much early 2017, North Oshawa, it was like crazy. And then you look at the prices now, and it's like people discovered gold in North Oshawa, and Winfield's is like a hotspot again. And homes are selling for like ridiculous amounts of money. Emma, I hope that answers your question. If you have more, you can reach out. At the very least, just subscribe to the channel. Helps my channel grow. Appreciate it. If you've never watched any of my videos, I have videos pretty much on all cities within Durham, from Oshawa all the way to Pickering. Let me see what's next. Thanks a lot. You're very welcome. Reach out if you have questions, and more than happy to help. Thanks very much for sharing this information. My agent actually called me today to see if I want to list it early. Your video is very, very helpful. Well, Emma, thank you very much. Have your agent please, like, depending on what the house is, like I might have buyers for it. Obviously, you want to go to market, because if you sold it without going to market, you're doing yourself a disservice. So I'm not trying to rip anybody off. I'm just desperately trying to find inventory for my buyers or my clients. And I'm going to be even running Facebook ads, trying to target people that are on the fence with selling, just to bring to light how crazy the market is right now, because people might not expect that. But Emma, again, please just have your agent reach out and say like what your property is, what you want for it. And I can see if I have people for it or not. Won't hurt to ask. Is there any other questions? I might sign off here soon. Yeah, so for those of you who are new, never watched any of my videos before, pretty much I was born and raised in Brampton. I moved to Oshawa back in 2012. And 2019, I moved to Whitby, where I'm living right now. So I had to learn the city as what it was like to be as a new person living here. So I had to uncover where all the shopping spots were and the good areas, the bad areas. So I learned all that. And so it was November of 2019 when I did my first video, which is the 10 things to know about Oshawa. I'm just going to warn you, if you try and go back through the channel to watch that video, it was my first video I ever did. It was my first time talking in front of a camera. And I'm the type that before I started this YouTube channel, me talking in front of a camera was a big deal. So if my wife or my parents or whoever was recording me, I didn't really talk very much because I felt uncomfortable. And so you can tell that with my first video I did on Oshawa. But the way YouTube works is if you take a video down, you lose all the views that you have on it. And then each view kind of builds the strength of your channel and it gets put in front of more people. So I have these videos that I'm not very proud of, but the information is good and they get a ton of views. Like some of the, like my first videos are getting like 20, 30, 40 views a day, which is just absolutely insane. And so like those videos are there forever. But I'm not proud of them in terms of the video quality or how I am in front of the camera or anything like that. But the information is good. So if you're going to go back and watch those videos, I'm not saying that I'm a professional YouTuber or somebody who's ever been comfortable in front of the camera, but the information has been there and it's done a lot of good for helping people that are looking to move here. I get a lot of people that reach out to me because of the channel. And then I have a lot of other people who reach out, comment and stuff that they're saying that it was helpful for them deciding to move here and where to move. And they use another agent for that. And so that's perfectly fine because this information is out there for everybody. And so, yeah, subscribe to the channel, like the video. The comments on this is going to be great. I hope it gets pushed out in front of more people because I truly just want people to be bringing more inventory to the market because it's been a real struggle for a lot of these people that are looking to get out of Toronto and want to buy a home outside of Toronto because Toronto house prices are still unobtainable for a lot of people. But then when you come out to the Durham region or the Halton or Peel, those price points are starting to get high right now too. So the whole purpose of this was just if I can get one person to list, then it's going to be worth it because there's a real shortage on inventory right now. And just to give you one thing I can show you. Thanks a lot. You're very welcome. I don't know. Okay, I touched on that. Sir, in 650 budget, which is best option in new construction homes? To be honest, that's going to be tough because I know Ironwood Towns, there's an assignment there right now, which is in and around that price point, but it's a 3-story townhome that has a POTL fee. Outside of that, I don't know if there's any builders selling price points under that right now. I'd have to check, but I'm pretty sure nothing has, there's nothing currently in that price point for 650 budget for a new constructed home at all. Like the North Oshawa and Taunton has the newer homes, but they've gotten expensive. Like townhomes right now, the older townhomes, like there was one on Dorchester, which is a 1970s built townhome, and it has one bathroom on the second floor, like one full shower in the whole house, and that sold for $627, and that was in December. So like the market's even gone up from then. So that's going to be a tough one. And if you find any, please let me know because I haven't been able to find any. But at the same time, a lot of builders, they don't work with agents because the market's so hot right now. So I haven't fully been looking because I'm out of the pre-construction market because I am 3 brand new homes in a row. and I'm done with living with no grass or a driveway for an extended period of time. I hope that helped. I don't know your full name or your real name, so I'm just calling you by your tag here, which is but thanks for all your questions. I definitely appreciate it. Varad, is Park Lane Avenue in Eastdale, Oshawa, considered a good area? Eastdale as a whole is a good area. It's on the outskirts of Oshawa. It's close to the 401, and it just, it attracts a lot of people that are typically new families that are coming in there, or you have investors that are buying properties for investment properties because you are close to the 401. One thing to note too is the new GO station that's going to be coming to central Oshawa. I don't know when it's coming, but the minute that happens, a lot of these outside areas from on the outskirts of Oshawa are going to go up, because now you're going to have a GO station that's a little bit closer to where you are. And that GO station is going at Ritson and King would be kind of the main intersection. It's more south than King, but that's kind of the general area. It's the old Nob Hill Farms pretty much facility where it used to be a large grocery store back like many years ago. I don't even think it was a grocery store. I think it was just a warehouse. And so that once that's up and running, Eastdale will continue to go up. Just pull up Park Lane exactly, because with Oshawa, there are good pockets and bad pockets, and sometimes really close to each other. So Park Lane, which is a Harmony, yeah, that area is really good. The church that we go to is around here, and it's a good, because I'm streaming, my screen is really slow. So that Park Lawn area, or Park Lane, very good area. It's tons of original owners from the 1950s and 60s. So you have retirees that are living there, and the homes have been maintained. It's very safe and quiet type neighborhood. Symphony Towns is going in there, so that might change the demographics, where it might increase the rental numbers, because a lot of pre-construction is purchased by investors and they rent it out for that first year to avoid having to pay back the HST. And so they'll kind of do that, rent it out, and then sell it after the year. So you might have a lot of renters that are living in there, which, as long as you're getting the right type of renters, you're okay. But it's when you get the lower rental amounts, that's when you run into that issue. So you should overall, I would say, be really good there. Being in Eastdale, you're kind of close to the 401, and then you're also close to Taunton and Harmony, which has all of the shopping right by Symphony Towns, that area, which is at Harmony and Eastdale. Like, there's the Donovan Rec Center, or maybe I'm calling it something wrong, but there's a rec center there as well. So it's really central to rec center, and then major shopping, and then 401. And then you're not too far to the Thornton Road GO station, because you can take the 401, get off at Stevenson, and then cut down to, I forget the name of the street, but it's where the Thornton Road GO station is. So it's pretty central to everything. Vlad, Barad, I hope that answered your question. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I appreciate it. Emma, one more question. What is the price range of the detached house that the market is the most heated right now in Pickering? Honestly, if you're less than $1 million, it's hot. If you are $2 million, then it's a little slower. If you are hovering around the 1.2, you have a lot of buyers. The main thing right now to keep into play is you can get, as a first-time home buyer, or you're buying another house, as long as it's so if you're buying another house, you can go 5% down, but it caps at $1 million. So once you get over that million, a lot of the buyers have actually been capped out of the market. So anything less than $1 million is insanely hot. Anything more than $1 million, depending on the house and the location, you could be good. One thing that I just remembered actually was Pickering, depending on the area, and I forget the exact area, they've actually put restrictions on infill lots. So that might hurt the values of certain areas in Pickering, where a lot of investors were buying homes, tearing them down, or building up from them. So right now, the market overall, anywhere, I think it's even North America wide, is hot. It doesn't matter what it is. Less than $1 million is insanely hot. And then when you get that 1 million to 1.5 million, it's still really hot, but it really depends on the property itself. So it's really hard to answer that question accurately. Andrew, Brad, your swag is immeasurable. Your drip is droppy. Keep doing you. Well, I appreciate that, Andrew. That's good. I'm going to reuse that for some of my videos. Yeah, I was sporting the Oshawa Generals. My wife got it for me for Christmas, and apparently it was hard to get. She called the tribute center, and she just dialed random extensions until she got a hold of somebody. So she worked really hard to get this. So I figured my first live since like whenever, I'm going to sport it for her. Brad, your swag is immeasurable. Your drip is repping for folks who have social anxiety but work social jobs, giving us hope. You're welcome, Andrew. Thanks for the comments. Brad, thank you very much. You're very welcome. I hope it helped. A lot of good questions. I don't think I've ever had a live with this much messages before. It's been really good. And the whole goal of this was to get people to list their homes because there's no inventory. So if I just get one person that's going to list it early, then hopefully it will take out some of the competitors that I've been battling. And yeah, so make it a little easier because it's been a lot of offers, and it's very it's emotionally draining for a lot of my buyers that I've been dealing with because they are bidding and bidding and bidding, and they're not getting anything. And that's hard because they're living either in different parts of the world and they want to come here, but they want to come here to a house that they own, or they're coming from different parts of Canada, or they're just coming from Toronto and they just want their home with a yard and everything like that. So it's been really hard for them. And figured campaign run through Facebook, which is going to try and get people that are interested in selling, because you have people that, you know, they want to sell, but they don't understand how insane the market is right now. And that's why I gave the real numbers of like the offers I've battled with over since January 11th. And for those that weren't here at the beginning, January 18th, I submitted an offer and there was 31 offers I was competing with. January 16th, there was 15 offers, but that was only because there was a bully offer given and they only had 2 days of actual showings. January 12th, I competed against 38 offers. And then January 11th, 44 offers. So there's been tons of buyers out there. So anybody who's holding on a property they want to sell, now is the time that's guaranteed you're going to sell it for an amazing price. And who knows what's going to happen 6 months from now? It could go up, it could go down. But the main thing is right now it's crazy. And the main thing is the amount of people that are looking to move to Durham region and just the major shortage of inventory. And a lot of people aren't selling because they don't know where they're going to move to, and they're going to have to buy or rent. And both the buying, again, you're buying in the same market you're selling. So that's going to be hard. And if you're looking to rent, even the rental market is crazy. I had a listing in Newmarket, which was a rental, and it was on the market for 24 hours. I had 5 offers. My realtor.ca notifications were popping up with so many people that wanted to reach out. And it was just insane. Like the showings were nonstop, like absolutely nonstop. Michael Chung, we had low interest rates for 2020. Do you see a correction coming soon? Not in interest rates. I have a client who he trades in currency, and he said that the bond yield rates in the US have gone up and that the Canada will follow. I've asked mortgage brokers what are their opinions on this, because this is really important to see, like, you know, what's going to happen long term. And the low rates are really low right now. And I just redid my mortgage and I was really happy with the rate that I got. And some of my clients who work for banks, they got their employee discounts and they got 0.5% lower than what I got. And I felt good for a little bit until I started hearing their rates. But do I see the market correction soon, like for the rates? I don't, because the economy right now is very, very fragile. And if they're going to increase mortgage rates, which would in turn decrease values in homes, it could cripple the Canadian economy. So I don't know how accurate, like that's just my opinion. So maybe I'm not the right person to be speaking about this, but That's the way I see it. If the interest rates go up, there's going to be a crippling effect in the market. And I don't know if the Canadian economy can sustain that, because with everything that's gone on with COVID and restaurants and stores that are, having a hard time in terms of, surviving. And then you're going to throw this where now you're going to have people's that their businesses have been struggling. And then you're going to make it where now their household is going to be struggling even more. So that's a good question, Michael. I would suggest asking a mortgage broker in terms of what they feel with interest rates, because it's just more, sometimes too, the more opinions you can get will help answer your own question, because a lot of people have opinions and you just got to make sure that you're getting the right ones. Anybody who's new here, never watched any of my videos or anything like that, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos that you watch. Go back and watch all the videos I have. My Oshawa ones are friggin' hilarious because it was the first time I ever spoke in front of a camera. I didn't know how to edit videos, nothing like that. All my videos, everything on my channel has been done by myself. So it's been a big learning experience for me. So you can definitely tell when I've started, and then as I've progressed through the months. Some of my Whitby videos I didn't have the sound proper, where my mouth would be moving and then the words would be following after. So there's been a ton of learning curves on that. So I urge you to go back and you can chuckle at them. I know they're not perfect, but you know what? The information that comes through is the important part. I don't care how I look on camera, and it's just and at the end of the day, I am who I am. And a lot of people who have reached out, they can appreciate that, because I don't come across as this like sleek, sneezy or sleazy salesperson that's just trying to make a sale. I provide the truth and I give information away, and then people can make their own decisions on that. So all my videos are out there. Please subscribe, like the videos. If you know people that are looking to move to the Durham region, you can tell them that there's a rock star agent that's here. Even if you don't want to say me, just send them the link to my channel and they can go through all the videos and come up with their own decision, because not everybody's personality will match mine. And I'm not going to try and change who I am to just cater to different people. Honest, and I work very hard, and that's kind of gone above and beyond for a lot of people, which they can appreciate. I got lots of questions on this. This is awesome. I love this. Dhruv Patel, Oshawa or Brampton for a first-time home buyer looking for a townhouse? Thanks in advance. I appreciate the question. So I've lived in both. So I was born and raised in Brampton, and I moved to Oshawa from Brampton. And the reason I moved is because my wife was going to UOIT, which is now Ontario Tech University, and she was coming here to rent a place. So back in 2012, if you're not familiar with how Oshawa was, there was a lot of sleazy rentals. And the ones that she was looking at, because she was looking for a student rental that she could live at, were sleazy rentals, and they were disgusting. And so we ended up trying to find a way that we could buy our first house, and that was back in 2012. So we bought our first house for $210,000. And then, so it's just kind of, we've been in Durham ever since. I personally would never move back to Brampton. I just don't like it. There are things of Brampton I do miss. The food scene is much better than it is in Oshawa. Oshawa's food scene is good, but if you're looking for samosas that are good and you're going to get 3 or 4 for $1, the ones you're going to get here in Durham are going to be really small. If you know a samosa spot that has good ones, please reach out, because we've been on the search for the last, 8 years or something like that. So sorry, I get off topic, but Oshawa or Brampton for a first-time home buyer, I would suggest you look at the prices of both cities, because I know Brampton has always kind of been higher than Oshawa. Oshawa is crazy right now because a lot of people who are moving to the Greater Toronto area, Brampton is an area that they've gone to because it has been very diverse and multicultural. So Oshawa, 10 years ago, it wasn't quite like that, unfortunately, where now it's very diverse and multicultural. The food, restaurants, and grocery stores have really shifted gears, and now they have all different ethnicities that are here and different cultured foods. So really, I think you're going to have to look at price points. My parents, my sister, they live in Brampton still, and they're looking to get out of Brampton. But at the same time, you have to look at what's right for you. Oshawa is a great place to live. It's very family friendly. You have to be careful of the areas. So it really comes down to area. Same thing as in Brampton. Brampton has a lot of really good areas, but then they have a lot of not so good areas. So you just want to make sure that you're going to pick the right areas. Kitten Berlin. Hi, Brad. Is there going to be any government interference in rising house prices? Also, any hope for buyers with this crazy hard market? Kitten, I wouldn't mind if there's government interference because I have a lot of buyers on the go right now, and it's been a real struggle. It has, we're writing offers after offers, and I don't know how long you've been here for, but I'll touch back on it again. Since January 11th, I've written 4 offers that I've documented here. And pretty much January 18th, I did an offer, so which was just yesterday, well, today, because I haven't gone to sleep yet. I competed with 31 offers. And then January 16th, I competed with 15 offers. January 12th, 38 offers. And then January 11th, 44 offers. And so tons of buyers right now, no inventory. Do I see government interference? If it wasn't for being COVID right now, I would say probably you would. But everyone's attention is being focused on that I don't think anybody's really focusing too much on the housing market. They know it, but are they going to step in and do anything like they did in 2017? I don't know. I wouldn't mind if they did because there's a lot of buyers that are pre-approved and they can't buy a house. And that's very discouraging for a lot of people who have goals of wanting to be a home owner and they can't because they've been priced out of the market. And so do I see any government interference? I don't know. I feel like the only way that they can immediately kind of balance this out is if more people listed their house. And that's why I did this live stream right now. It was just to see if I could get just like one person that would want to sell their house and put it to market now because there's a major shortage right now. Michael Chung. I've enjoyed your YouTube videos. How often do you live stream? I don't have a live stream schedule. It's really hard to do that being in real estate because there are times where it's 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday and I'm writing offers or negotiating deals. And then there's times where it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm gone doing showings. So I don't have a fixed schedule. I don't work 9 to 5. I work all hours, all days. And so it's really hard for me to have like a set schedule for a live stream. Ideally, I'd like to live stream at least once a month, but that hasn't been very manageable for the last 2 months because there's been a lot of showings, a lot of offers, and it's just been a little struggle on top of recording the videos that I've been putting out there as well. So I do a video and I edit the video and then I have to post it and then I have to do the thumbnail for it. So like there's a lot of work that goes involved with that. And that's where it's been hard for me to come up with that consistent schedule. The only reason I did this live stream is because I just had another day of competing with 31 offers and it really bugged me. So instead of doing anything else, I figured let me just come on here and I can share kind of what I've been going through. And then what some of my buyers have been going through because it's very hard. And at the end of the day, if more people would list, then hopefully this would balance out, but it's been hard. And I appreciate the comment, Michael. Kitten Billin, it's been fun watching you. I think the raw videos make it more original and valuable information you share is worth a watch. I really appreciate that. And that's kind of why I've never paid a professional person to edit my videos. I record all of my videos on my phone. Right now I'm using a webcam for my computer, but all of the videos that you see, I just use my phone. I have a Pixel up until about December 24th. I had a Pixel 2. It just goes to show how old I've had that phone. And so everything has been on my phone. I edit it on my phone. I do everything there because I don't want to lose that more of authentic reach where it's not coming across like I'm shooting a movie because that's not my goal. And people who are looking to research moving into a city, especially for people who are coming from different countries that maybe never been here before, the fact that I'm out there just recording and showing you what Oshawa, Whitby, Ajax, or Pickering has to offer has been something that people kind of enjoyed. And so like this coming Friday, I'm going to post a video about Whitby and the top shopping spots. And it's just me in these areas to show where people are the main areas you won't want to be shopping. So when you're looking on realtor.ca or your realtor sending you things, you kind of know where you would most likely be doing your shopping. So that's the video that's coming out this Friday. And again, it's just me and my phone. Like I'm getting fancier with like green screens, and I bought a proper phone gimbal because I've been doing a lot of virtual showings for people. So it's me touring houses via WhatsApp with people from, Singapore, Dubai, or BC. So it's been really neat like that. So it's been good. So I appreciate that, Kit, and I'm glad that it's been fun watching. And I do edit a lot of my stuff out of the videos because I'm not like a film person at all. So I make a lot of mistakes when I'm trying to share the information out there. So it's all cut out there. But I do leave it to look as original as I can because I just want to paint a real picture on what it's like to actually live here. And I really appreciate the people who have reached out through the YouTube that have been looking to buy a house. It's been amazing to be able to help them. I love meeting people. Like I have people that the first time I met them was actually on the day of closing. Everything was done virtually like that, and so it's been amazing. And so I appreciate that, Kitten. Sir, can we get commercial plus living in 850 range to get rent or do our own business? You can, but it's going to be in the downtown area of Oshawa. There's some in Whitby. Commercial, the reason why it's a little less pricey is because it's outside of the typical, just a typical residential mortgage. So there might be more stipulations to that. You're going to deal with, commercial rates, and you need to get a commercial mortgage where they don't necessarily, just reading messages as we go. So they don't necessarily mortgage you, they're mortgaging your property. So you got to make sure that the property that you're buying makes sense for a bank to want to give a mortgage on. So it's completely different. So it is possible, but it's just more of a trickier process. Reach out to the Gemba Finance. They'll be able to point you in the direction for the mortgages. And then you can go and kind of go from there, but it's not as crazy. There's not real bidding wars for a lot of the commercial properties because it's just there's not as many people looking to buy them. But at the same time, it's still competitive, just like every other real estate market in probably North America. Brad. Hi, Brad. Is there any good inventory for vacant lots in Durham region? There are. It really comes down to price point. If you're looking for just a vacant build lot, a lot of the ones I've been seeing have been in the central area of Oshawa. That's what I found. A lot of the outside areas have been kind of developed already. There are on the northern section where it's large acred parcels of land that are for sale there, but they're kind of pricey. So I wouldn't say there's a good inventory. A lot of might make more sense for you to buy a house that's a tear down and then maybe not tear it down all the way, but actually just kind of build it up. That's an option that could work, and it would save you on the developmental fees and having to go through the severance or any other part of the process of actually turning that into a house land or a parcel of land that you can build on. Parvinder. Hey, Parvinder. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please. What do you suggest for people who are part of the 19 offers not accepted out of 20 offers? Keep trying and staying positive, and that's all you can do. The minute you give up, you've taken yourself out. And so if there's a temporary dip, which does happen, where you'll have 1 week that has more listings than others, and so you'll have less competing offers, and that's going to be the week that you're going to get it. And if you take the time off or you stop searching, you're going to miss that. So you need to keep your finger on the pulse, depending on how motivated you are to actually buy a place. Because I had it where from June until September, I wrote a lot of offers and I didn't get any accepted. And then it was a 2-week span or a 1-week span in mid-October, and I had 5 opted. And so that was a temporary dip, and then things got crazy again. So like every single one of those people who purchased during that dip, they have already made $100,000 on the value of all of the properties that they bought, because it was just they got it in a time where it was like, they might have 3 properties doing offers on the same day. And so like the one they chose to bid on didn't have any other offers. So they were competing with nobody. Others, it was properties that just they had been marketed for, they were on the market for like 6 days, and same thing, like offer day came and and there was no competing offer. So just staying positive and then keep trying. The minute you give up, you've taken yourself out of the market. And if there are those temporary dips, you'll never know. Thanks. You're very welcome. Kitten Billin. Thanks for answering, Brad. Sorry, another question. Should buyers pause their home hunt for some time or keep? What do you suggest? Is it worth buying a new house as price is same as old now? I think this goes as to the previous question. The minute you pause your search, you kind of take yourself out of the market. So if there's temporary dips, you're not going to know about it. And by taking yourself out and you're really motivated to buy something, then I would just say keep trying. And I know it sucks because you might be doing a lot of viewings, depending on where you're coming from and where you're looking to buy. You might have a lot of drives back and forth. But it is something that if you're really motivated to buy your own place, I would suggest keep trying, because it's just going to be a matter of time before the inventory levels balance out. I'm really hoping that's the case. I'm going to convince myself of that, and I'll keep saying it, that inventory levels are going to increase, because that's what's really hurting the market right now. And then, is it worth buying a new house as prices same as old now? I think you have to look at the builder. And the problem with the builders, and why I don't have a ton of information on, is because they're not really working with realtors. So like I have clients where I've helped them just because they're good people and they're having a hard time finding something. And so like I will make sure that the paperwork that they're signing is legit, that they have their proper clauses in there, because when you're buying from a builder, you're going to want to make sure that, you can ask if you can do an assignment clause, so that if, as you get closer to when you move in, if things change and you can't close on the property, at least you have the option to try and assign it to somebody else. Other times would be caps on developmental charges. So you would want to make sure that when you're buying a new house, that there's a cap, because what happens is builders, when they estimate the price of a home, they estimate it based on what the current charges through the municipality, like the developmental charges, are. And if you don't have a cap on that, if those charges increase, so let's just say they estimate it's going to be 20,000, it turns into 40,000, then the new buyer is actually responsible for that difference. So if you don't put a cap on it, and let's just say that difference turns into be 50 grand, then you're on the hook for that. So I know with the house that I'm in right now, we put a cap of 10,000, but it was just worst case scenario, because there has been cases I've heard of people in Vaughan where the developmental fees were like 25 or 30,000 on top of everything that they expected. Sorry, I'm just gonna drink water. So Kitten, I hope that helped you. Lots of great questions. I'm very happy that everyone's been asking these questions. When I started this live today, I pictured this was going to be maybe a 20-minute one where I could just come on here and vent and beg all of the people who are holding on to properties that they want to sell to list and bring to market. And I even found like a hilarious meme that I saw on, I think it was on a mug, and it was pretty much like, I would fight a bear. And the way I was going to word it was like, I'll fight a bear for your listing, not a brown bear, not a black bear, not even a polar bear, but maybe a Care Bear. Yeah, you know what? I'll fight a Care Bear for your listing. And that was funnier when I saw it on the mug. But so when I saw that, I just got the idea to come on here and vent a little bit, and hope that people would pop on here and ask questions. So it's been really good. Just want to make sure I didn't miss any questions on here. No, I don't think I did. If nobody has any other questions, I'm going to end this live. I don't even know how long it's been on for, but it seems like quite a while. Again, thanks for everyone for watching. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do. If you know of anybody looking to sell their house, depending on where, I probably have a buyer for them, but it's not going to be fair to them because if they put it, you're going to get a lot more because the market has gotten crazy. But if you know of anybody who's looking to buy, sell, or invest, you can shoot them to my channel, and hopefully they can take in the information that I'm putting out there. I've been licensed in real estate for it's going on 7 years now. I've been investing in real estate since about 15 years now. I don't have any rental properties anymore. I had to sell them all for the house that I'm in now, but it is something that I'm going to get back into. So that's it. Subscribe to the channel, like the live stream if you liked it, and I appreciate all the comments and questions that everybody had. Have a good night, and until next time.